Hello, welcome to Special Olympics Chicago. My name is William Tang, and I'm here with Eileen Ganan with the Chicago Park District Special Olympics Administrator. Eileen, welcome to Special Olympics TV show.
Thanks, William. Thanks for having me.
Tell me about the bike donation.
So this past year, we had a representative from Google, Chuck Shaw, reach out to us, and they were really interested in our programs and how they could get involved. They were hosting an international conference in September at Soldier Field, and they wanted to know if they could volunteer or if there was any type of event they could connect with us with. And we didn't have any events the day that they were going to be in town, but we kind of talked over a few different options, and we came up with the idea that Google would purchase 50 adult tricycles for us, adult trike bikes, which are basically just three-wheel bikes. And we got Cozy Cyclery involved from Chicago, and they agreed to help us put together side by side with the Google employees as well as some of our athletes. And the bikes went to some really well-deserving athletes to keep as their own.
Okay, so why they got chosen?
So once we kind of gotten all the details together and we had 50 bikes coming to us, Google also purchased 50 helmets. So I reached out to coaches in Chicago and asked them basically, do they have any athletes that would really benefit from a three-wheel bike? We wanted to make sure that they went to athletes that were really going to use them. We didn't want them just sitting somewhere collecting dust. So coaches responded and they gave us a list of names, and pretty much everybody that they gave to us as far as names go received a bike.
A bike?
For you.
For me?
Yeah.
Ah, my Lord.
How does the Cozy Bike Cyclery works like with them?
So we were really, really fortunate to partner up with Cozy as well on this. Google, they know a lot about computers, but as far as setting up bikes and making sure that they're put together properly, both of us were kind of at a loss. So we reached out. Sue Jimenez works at Cozy Cyclery, and she is the mother of one of our athletes that participated at McGuane Park for years. So we already had that connection going, and Sue was awesome in the process. She arranged for us to have a bunch of bike technicians on site at Soldier Field. So they helped to make sure that the bikes were put together safely, checked all of the nuts and the bolts and the screws to make sure that everything was good to go, because we wanted to make sure that the bikes that we were giving over to our athletes were safe. So they really helped us put all these bikes together to help them get in the hands of the athletes. So they helped. We delivered the bikes over the next following weeks after putting them together. So Cozy was really helpful. They stored the bikes for us. And then every time we were making deliveries, we went and picked some up, and we got them out to the athletes that they were going to.
So can you tell us the story about the bike program?
Sure. So now, once the athletes were signed up to receive a bike, we brought the bikes to their houses. The trikes are pretty big, so they're kind of hard to transport. So again, we wanted to make sure that they were in the hands of the athletes, and the athletes, could kind of ride them before the weather broke. So the bikes were delivered to them, and the bikes are theirs to keep. We really are encouraging them to use them to make sure, they can use them not only for fun, but for training, for sports. Riding a bike is great exercise. So we're hoping that they really take full advantage of having them. These bikes aren't cheap, so it was a really big gift for a lot of these guys to receive and to have their own. They're awesome bikes. They're real sturdy. Google really did a great job of picking them out and making sure that the bikes would be sustainable for our guys. And they really fit both adults and our younger athletes as well. It didn't really matter what size or age the athletes were. We got them kind of in the hands of all different ages. So that was pretty cool.
So how long they got their own bikes? How long they get their own bikes?
So a lot of these guys had never ridden a bike. One of the challenges for many of our athletes is balancing on a two-wheeler was pretty tough. So we really kind of sought out the three-wheel option, so that some of our guys that haven't ever even tried to ride a bike, or they tried when they were little and kind of gave up because the balancing was so hard, this three-wheel option gives them that extra balance and extra support that they need. And now this bike is theirs for the rest of their lives. So as long as they take good care of it, it should last a really long time.
How do they like clean their bikes? How do they do the cleaning their bikes?
So all of the maintenance is up to them to make sure that they keep it up. The bikes did come with a little bottle of touch-up paint, so if they ever get in any fender benders with any other bikes or railings or scratches, if they ever happen to maybe get a little out of control and crash, there is that touch-up paint that they can, help keep their bike looking brand new. So they did get a helmet as well, so we want to make sure everyone's being safe while they're riding their bikes, and going out there with, a family member. Bike riding's so fun. So we hope that they kind of get a little more freedom, get to, hang out with their family and do some stuff as a group that maybe they had to sit on the sidelines before, and now they don't have to do that anymore. They can have their own bike and go have fun.
How do they get they have the big bikes? They got their own individual delivery of bikes, Eileen?
Yep, we took these bikes all over the city. So we dropped them off at houses. They're big, they're heavy. They all have a big basket on the back, so if they ever need to go shopping, they can fill that basket up, and it's theirs to keep.
So,
do you know how to ride a bike?
Well, I used to, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. It's hard for me.
Well, maybe we got to get you a three-wheeler, huh?
I wish. Yeah. I would have one for the house, but I have nowhere to store in the house yet.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, so a couple of the bikes we dropped off at schools. So we dropped 3 bikes off at Ray Graham, so that a lot of their students could utilize the bikes. So we have 3 went there, 3 went to Misericordia. So those bikes are going to get a lot of use from multiple people, which is kind of cool. So a lot of people kind of ran into that problem where they didn't have room, or they might have lived upstairs, and the bikes are pretty heavy to carry up and down. So we're hoping by giving a few bikes to those places that have multiple athletes can try out riding a bike and have some fun with it.
So do you like how do you like to ride? Do you ride a own bike, Eileen Ganan?
Yeah, I do ride a bike. I love it. I used to ride my bike a lot more than I do right now, but hopefully when it gets nice out, I'll get back on my bike too.
They're so goofy. A lot of people are riding bikes and stuff. They're crazy.
Yeah, it's good though. Riding bikes are good.
Yeah, they are. Sometimes I saw a lot of people riding bikes in my old area, and I said, "There's a bike." People said, "We already said divvy nerd," and I said, "Who?" And the world talking like that, and I said. It was Pam and I saw one divvy nerd on downtown, and I saw the one divvy one in right in our
Well, I hope
workplace.
that I wasn't one of those divvy nerds.
Not you. I want to say you, because me and you are the co-workers.
Yeah. No divvy nerds in our office, huh?
Yeah, right. Like who else rides the bikes in our office?
You know what? I'm not sure. But they're there. I see bikes kind of in and out. There's a lot of bike riders in Chicago, so that's why we're trying to get these bikes that we got to our guys to make sure that they know how to use them, and they know how to use them safely.
Oh wow.
That's why we got them helmets too, to make sure that they're protected. So if they do crash, especially if they're out on the street or on the sidewalk and they're riding around and one of the divvy nerds fly by them, then we want to make sure that they have their helmet on so that they are protected. Now we have 50 more three-wheeler bikes out on the roads in Chicago. So hopefully you can see them around. You see our athletes riding around, give them a wave.
All right. I would like to thank Eileen Ganan for coming out today for our show today. We'll be right back.
Thank you, William.
You're welcome.
My name is James Logan. I am the longest crew member of the CanTV. Floor manager. Make people quiet. I count down and wrap it up.
Volleyball and bocce.
Easy. You roll it like a bowling ball, and then you hit the white ball. Bowling. My favorite sport. To concentrate, taking my time. I won first place for first time bowling competition. That's last spring. I'm proud of myself. Wrap it up.
welcome back to our show. Today's guest is Miss Mary Reese, and she's been volunteering Special Olympics Chicago just a few years ago. In her time of volunteering, Miss Mary has volunteered at many events, including bocce, young athletes, bowling, and spring games, and just a few. Miss Mary is an inspiration to others who may think about volunteering, and a great help to all. So thank you, Miss Mary, for coming to our show today, so our other members of our Special Olympics Chicago family can get to know you. So why did you start volunteering for Special Olympics?
You know, I've always loved to volunteer. I became a widow about 10 years ago, and that's when I really started getting more involved. And we have a neighbor, his name is Elmer Mestrovic. He taught special ed for, I think about 35 years, and he would run special occasions at De La Salle to raise money for Special Olympics. And I would always go, and I would think how wonderful it would that he did things like this. So anyhow, he's a neighbor, and one day I said to him, do you ever need any help? And he said, yeah, and that's how I got started.
Wow, that's really good.
Yes.
So what has been your favorite volunteer in Special Olympics?
Oh, I can't say one special one. I've enjoyed everyone. You know, you get so much out of volunteering, so much more than you get. You know, your giving is just, the Special Olympics, the special children are just so great. They're
so active.
So, you know, they just enjoy it. They participate, and they get so much out of it, and it's just so wonderful to be part of it.
You just want to feel the love.
Yes, you sure do.
Yep.
You sure do.
So what did you do at this bocce ball tournament?
You know, I volunteered at the bocce ball, and I would do bingo. The children would come in, and I would help with the bingo, and they would get their prizes. It was a great day. Everybody won. From the first to the last, everybody got a prize.
Wow. So I heard you ran the dance floor at the Young Athletes. Was that fun?
I had a ball. It was so much fun. You know, the music was great, and I like dancing anyhow, and it was just so much fun. Just fun.
Just fun to turn it up to
Oh
music.
yeah. Yeah.
So how long did you think you will continue to volunteer?
Oh gosh, as long as the good Lord will let me, I
yeah.
would keep on doing it as long as I can.
Has so many plans for many people that want to do stuff like that.
Yes.
Yes. So what would you like to the members of the audience volunteering for Special Olympics?
You know, I was a stay-at-home mom for many, many years, but I always volunteered up at church, at the school. I do some volunteering. I count the Sunday collection at church. There's a program called Spread, and it's close to my home, and they always need volunteers because Spread is an organization that has special needs children, and they teach them religion.
Wow.
And I've gone there, and I help out there, and as much as I can, I get a lot out of it.
So is there anything else that you want to say to the audience?
You know what? You know, if you get out of the house and you do this volunteering, it's just so rewarding. It's so much more than sitting home watching TV and things like that. You know, if everybody comes out and does some volunteering, it just means so much. And you know, I've met so many wonderful people, not only the special ed children, the special needs children, the people that volunteer too.
Yeah.
It's just such a rewarding.
It is rewarding to others.
Yeah. So get out there and volunteer.
Yeah, get out there. Volunteer, people. So thank you so much for coming, Miss Mary. And
I know it's a tough
yes,
last
it's
name.
a one to say. I can't
Yes,
pronounce it
but
right.
that's all right, honey.
Yeah.
You're doing real well.
No, thank you so
Yeah,
much for
yes.
coming.
You're welcome.
So stay tuned for our next segment.
Hi there, my name is Eileen Ganan. I'm the Special Olympics Administrator for the Chicago Park District. I'm here today to give you the quarterly outlook for 2020. Starting in January, we kind of hit the floor running. We start with a staff ski trip. We do this trip, it's for staff to really get them prepared for the Alpine Ski Qualifier the following week. We want to make sure that our staff is brushed up on their skills because they're going to be taking close to 100 athletes skiing the following week. For our Alpine Ski Qualifier, we head to Galena, Illinois, Chestnut Mountain, and we ski for 3 days. We have our athletes that range from beginner skiers all the way to skiers that can run down blue and black diamond runs. It's a really, really awesome trip. The new skiers from day 1 to day 3, the progress that they make just in 3 days is pretty amazing. So the staff ski training on January 3rd is just an opportunity for our staff to be prepared to really be better teachers and to have the skills ready to help our guys become better skiers. The Alpine Ski Qualifier in Galena is January 7th to the 9th. We head up there. The first 2 days are really just focused on practice, getting a lot of runs in, making sure that our athletes know how to properly put on the equipment, take off the equipment, get up from falls. We do a lot of practicing around the ski gates because on Thursday of that week they do a ski qualifier which requires them to race down the ski track and really get around the ski poles and make sure that they stay on the course and complete the course with 100% accuracy. So it's a big trip. It's a lot of work all week, but it's a really good time, and we're excited for that coming up in January. Also in January marks the start of our really busy basketball season. We have 9 competition days for basketball spread out from January and into February. So we have 3 skills competitions, a north location, a central location, and a south location for all of our CPS and school age athletes. We also have a total of 5 competition days. We have 6 competition days. We have 3 days for high school teams. We have 1 day for junior teams, which is our 8 to about 13-year-old athletes. And then we have 2 days for our senior teams. We also have a skills day for our seniors as well. So basketball is definitely probably our second busiest sport behind track and field. So we're excited to get that underway. We have a new venue location for our junior basketball. We're heading over to Quest Multisport. We've been at University of Chicago the last couple of years, but we're going to try out Quest this year, so hopefully that goes well. Everything else, we have our high school competition at IIT. We have our senior competition at Quest and at Northeastern Illinois University. So we're kind of all over the city in January. Also in January, we have, after our Alpine Ski Qualifier, if athletes advance from skiing and are able to complete the course successfully, they advance to Winter Games. Winter Games is that first week in February, a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have our snowshoe racers that received a gold medal at the regional race, and our alpine skiers head to Galena for a 3-day event, the state competition, Winter Games. So that's something that the athletes definitely look forward to every year. It's a lot of fun, 3 days of competition with other athletes from all over the state. So we're looking forward to that in February. February is pretty busy as well. We have our CPS soccer days, so we do our CPS soccer skills days as well as our CPS soccer team days. So we do indoor soccer for our high school and our elementary schools because there's not enough time in the calendar. So we always look forward to that. It's kind of a great break for the guys when February rolls around and weather's cold to get out there and stay active and play soccer and be practicing soccer. So we look forward to those days of competition. We also have our powerlifting event in February. This is definitely a unique sport for our athletes. They train pretty much year-round for powerlifting, and they compete at Quest in February. Most of them do 2 competitions, the deadlift and the bench press. Some of them also do the squat as well. So it's a day-long competition. It's something that our athletes work really hard for to train all year long. Coaches, athletes alike are really getting those training, the exercises, staying fit, and they throw up some big weights. So it's an exciting opportunity if you're looking to come out and see what we're all about. Powerlifting is definitely a great opportunity. Also in February, we have our first CPS swim meet. We've changed a few things this year, and we wanted to offer elementary and high school kids the opportunity to compete in a swim meet versus each other. So this is the first year that we're doing this swim meet. We're hoping to get some athletes involved and really kind of show off their skills, how they are able to swim and compete against their peers. So we're excited for that. Also moving into March, we have our state basketball competition in Bloomington, Illinois. These are our teams and our skills athletes that win a gold medal in January in Chicago. They get to travel and compete for the weekend against teams from all around the state. So that's a really exciting tournament. We have our swim meet for our seniors at UIC. We also have a new venue for that this year. And we finally have our gymnastics. So that kind of rounds out our first 3 months of the year. It's busy, busy, busy. These athletes got something every weekend just about, and they're keeping busy, they're staying fit. Other things kind of coming up in 2020, we're really excited to start a few new leagues and classes throughout the city. We have a basketball league for our junior athletes, so 8 to 15-year-olds, starting at Hamlin Park on Saturdays. Athletes will be put on a team once they register, and the teams will play various other teams throughout the session. And it's a 30 minutes of instructional time and then 30 minutes gameplay. So those newer athletes that might be kind of new to basketball are really going to get everything that they need. They're going to get both the instruction, how to do it, practice with their teammates, and they're also going to be able to play in a game for a portion of that. So that's new in 2020. We're excited. We hope that we get a lot of kids registered so we can make multiple teams, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Also new in 2020, we have a few different classes starting up. We have some classes during the day at Ping Tom Park. We also have a class at Ridge Park that's going to be starting for some of our junior athletes on Saturday mornings. We're going to implement a few new leagues so that our existing teams can have a little more practice and have some experience competing in other teams before the actual competition. So we're going to host those at Wells Park and Armour Park. So we're excited for all of these new opportunities that 2020 is going to bring. We have a few new staff members on our team, and they're doing awesome things. So we're looking forward to what 2020 is going to bring. Other things coming up in 2020, we want to give our athletes some additional experience, some trip opportunities, and we're looking at some basketball trips for some of our schools. We're hoping to send a group to St. Louis. We also are hoping to head back to Oregon in the summer of this year to do another ski trip. We have a softball competition that we've competed in the last couple of years in Georgia, and we're also looking at a new 3-on-3 competition for basketball in Washington. So there's a lot going on. We're busy, busy, busy. My team and I are really hoping to provide new and more fun opportunities for our athletes in 2020. So we're looking forward to a really great year.
Hi, this is Dinesh Thomas. Welcome to the Special Olympics Chicago Sports Report on CAN TV. Happy New Year to all of our friends and supporters. Looking back, December was the month for our local snowshoe competition held at locations on both the north and south sides of Chicago. There wasn't any snow, but our athletes were happy to demonstrate their skills on the grass. Gold medal winners from these events are eligible to participate in the Winter State Games in Galena next month. Alpine Rookie School was the place to go for athletes who want to compete in downhill ski events. Athletes who qualified at the events in January will compete in the Winter Games in Galena. Did you ask about basketball? Basketball scrimmage were held on 2 days in December. And that is just the beginning. Thank you, David Elginberg, the honor head coach for Chicago Special Olympics 2019 Spring Games, for joining a group of our athletes at Armour Park on Thanksgiving morning to kick off the turkey trot in one of our newest Special Olympics Chicago program park locations. January 2020. Wow, Get ready for another year, exciting year of Special Olympics Chicago events. Did you ask about basketball again? Great, because we have basketball. You can catch all of our competitions beginning held in January. Check out our website for details at sochicago.org. Thank you, Eileen Gwalligan, for the Chicago Special Olympics First Quarter Outlook Report. We are great at sports, but we are also so much more. Check out our calendar and come out to see us. You'll have a great time. Make plans to join us at some of our events in 2020. We hope you enjoyed the visit with our guest today and meeting the floor manager, James Logan, our longest serving crew member. I'm Denez Thomas. For all of us at CAN-TV Special Olympics Chicago, thank you for watching our show. Our show airs on the first and third Saturday of each month on CAN-TV in Chicago and can also be found on the CAN-TV YouTube station. Check out our website at chicagospecialolympics.org and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. We hope you see you again real soon. We'll see you next time.